Hi everyone, and welcome to a series of interviews for Open Conference. My name is Matina Tsavli, and I am in the organizing committee of Open Conference. Today, I have with me Eleftheria Despoinara, Data and AI Principal Director. Hi, Eleftheria.
Hi, Matina. Hi, thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity to being part of this really nice initiative, an Open Conf, and really glad to be here for our discussion today.
The pleasure is all ours. So, I will start with the questions. Can you tell us about your journey in data science and how you have leveraged your skills and expertise to support clients from various industries around the world?
Well, my journey starts around 14 years back when we didn't call it even data science at this time. It was more like analytics, econometrics, things like that, the terminology back then. So my professional background, I was studying applied mathematics and physical science at the National Technical University of Athens. And during my studies, just before I delivered my thesis, I joined Accenture as an intern. So it was really interesting in order to understand how I can leverage all the things that I have learned in the actual day-to-day job. After that, I continued with applied economics and finance because at this time, again, data science master degrees weren't available, in Greece at least, where I didn't want to stop my professional career and go abroad. So I started going in a more, let's say, economic direction. Having said about my, let's say, academic background on the professional side, it was really interesting starting back then in doing, some first types of analytics, trying to understand through the data what we can do and how we can leverage the data in order to get insights for the client, which can be transformed in actions. And it was quite interesting on how the clients actually went through with that, right? And we're going on a year-by-year basis in some cases and some clients by doing at that time, some types of marketing return on investment project, which were, at the moment it's not that hot, but back then it was quite interesting for them to understand how they can actually position their budget in order to get the optimal from their marketing activities. Now, if I look through the years, of course, we have evolved. We have evolved in the tools that we are using. We have evolved in the languages that we are writing. And first of all, also, we have evolved also the amount of data we're using, which is quite more different. But most importantly, we have evolved on how many clients at the moment are actually understanding and utilizing the data science. For various topics, right? Not just their marketing at the moment, but also their infrastructure within their business, how they can do various topics, such as, doing the customer segmentation, which is a more traditional one, up to setting up their prices based on data science in each and every one of the store and each and every one of their products, depending on the different industries. But also on the more, let's say, new era, AI topics, right? Which I know is a very hot topic for the last year. It has been discussed for the last 3-4 years, I would say much more intense, but the generative AI has, I would say, exploded this discussion in all industries and in all clients, if I'm honest. So let me pause here. I don't know if there are any additional topics which I haven't covered.
That sounds very, very interesting and actually amazing. And I would like to ask you if this is also happening in Greece. Are the Greek companies ready for that you've been describing?
Different maturity levels, but yes, there are also Greek companies that they have understood how important data are and how they can, data is, and how they can use them, right?
Okay. That sounds great. So another question related to another topic now. As an inclusion and diversity lead for Greek office at Accenture, what specific strategies and initiatives have you been implementing to promote a culture of equality for all employees?
Well, thank you for that. This is a new role for me. It's like for the last 7-8 months, which I am focusing on that. I think one of the important topics that we are trying to cover within our organization is, first of all, try to educate our team, right? So we are doing a lot of sessions in bringing people that can give information in different types of diversity, right? Could it be disability? Could it be a mental health issue? It could be the pride topic, right? So, of course, the gender, which is something that in Accenture is also quite important, and there is also a target that we are aiming towards in 2025 to have equally balanced workforce for the people that are defined as female or male. So the first and very important is the education part, right? So we are doing a lot of sessions, bringing people with disabilities, starting even from the basic terminologies on how you can say a people that cannot walk, what is the correct terminology, how you can say people with a different race, which is the correct way to talk about that, right? Because I think that if we don't know, first of all, it's very difficult for us to be able to be close to people and work, right, with them. So having discussed about the gender and the pride, which we are also very focused on, are as an Accenture, both in Greece but also global, we're doing a lot of topics, a lot of actions, also on the disability element, right? Because we are living now in an era which has all the technologies that can help people with disabilities work, right? And we can work together with somebody who doesn't hear. Teams at the moment, you can speak and they can type, the answer. So we are in an era where we can use technology in order to everybody feel included, right? And everybody that wants to work and wants to be included, they can do it. And for me, this is number one priority, if I'm honest, because I think that this is a topic that we haven't touched a lot. And it's really important that people that wants to study are being able to study and they can also work, right? One example, one of the informative sessions that we did was with an organization here in Greece. What they do actually, they are reading mainly books that are for academic studies. And although there are applications that they can read the PDF, it's much more different when you try to study in the university to just read that, because you lose a lot of topics, right? If you just read through the PDF and it's not somebody reading that, it's very difficult for you as a people who cannot see. I forgot to mention that, right? This refers to people who they cannot see, right? So it's very important that they have these audio books that are specific for academic. And this organization takes requests from people that they cannot see in order for them to actually do these audiobooks. And this is something that, all of us can support also. And of course, we're also focusing a lot on the front of the mental health and on the front of understanding also disabilities that are not visible, right? Which is also a topic that is very important, right? Having people with having an autism, right? Or a mild autism, people that, they are extremely good with the computers, but they need different setups, right? They need a different setup and working. So these are some of the topics that we are discussing. But as I said, to summarize and reiterate, doing a lot of sessions, educating our team, understanding, all these different and various topics. I am still learning, right? And I think you always still learn. This is the topic which is more interesting and what I think it drives me in this different role from the data and AI topic.
So from my side, congratulations on your role, on the activities that you take. I take with me what you said, that now we have technology, so we have no excuse. I take that with me. Another question now related more to the AI. In an ever-evolving world, how can AI play a central role in shaping a more promising future?
Well, I think that AI can support in various topics, and I know I have used the word various many times, but it can definitely help, right? It can take out repetitive works, right? We are at this point, right, where we are putting that in order to take repetitive work from people in order for them to give them the opportunity to do more interesting thing, right? And being able to work more on the, let's say, evolving the industry they're working on their topic they're working on, rather than doing the same thing again and again. As I said, right, AI is not something new, right? It's here for 4 or 5 years, right? Generative AI is the one that we are more discussing and the one that led all the discussions now for everybody. I think that the AI can support and can take to the next level a lot of things in the industries, but the most important, and I think part of the role for us that we are in this field, is to understand the maturity level for every industry. Because it's really nice to, having the generative AI, having a chatbot, having, something to do there. But if you haven't done, let's say, all your work before, building your data infrastructure, building your company in a way that this can be consumed by your systems and by your employees. So these are the steps that we need to do, and this is part of what we need to do with all the industries. I think that AI can be a really nice starting point and providing ideas, right? So even for us, if you play around with that, it can give you ideas, and it could be the first seed, and then you can build on top of that, right? And having really, really interesting work and really interesting end product by utilizing AI in order to provide ideas. Sometimes, it's easy. I mean, I've done it. I'm playing with that. I'm guessing you are also, Matina. And it's really nice because sometimes it can give you ideas that you didn't even have, right? Write me a speech for what I want to do, right? And it can give you a speech, and you can take, one or two topics, which could be really nice because it gives you a more summarized and content way for what you want to do.
Yes. And it can be applied everywhere in life. For example, write me a story for my niece, a bedtime story or something like that. But
I mean, I have seen a video, you write now if you're in the university, it would be really tough if you are a professor, right? And if
yes,
you're trying to
identify. Yes.
and understand who has written this paper. Is it you, or
Yes.
was it
Exactly.
Gen AI?
But on the other side, we have software developers right now that are writing the code, and some of that will be replaced by the usage of AI. Will software developers be extinct?
No, this cannot happen, right? This will never happen because they need to work together, right? This is the answer that always comes up, but it can never work by its own, right? It can never work by its own, and we will never stop evolving, right? Realistically speaking, right? Because even for us, back in 14 years ago, the analytics piece that we were doing at the moment, it's, just, I would say a really small code which can be automated, right? For things that it took some time to do it back then in an Excel worksheet, right? But we haven't been extinct. On the other hand side, data scientists have evolved, and now it's not just data scientists, data engineers, it's data visualization, right? These things have actually broadened the umbrella. And I think this is what will happen with AI, right? We will broaden the umbrella of what we need to do. So the software engineer will have much more activities, different, more diverse, but they will be there, right? Because it cannot work by its own. And I think the example of data science, okay, maybe I'm a little bit biased because I am in this field, but exactly gives it that, right? As I said, 14 years back then, there are things that we were doing which needed time. We didn't have the tools, we didn't have the technology to do it faster, and now we have it. And data science is still a very, let's say, hot field to work, and it has diversified, right? And I think this will continue.
Right, right. So great. Thank you so much. For closing, I would like to give us a short teaser about what we're going to talk about in Open Conference.
Well, I mean, parts of what we already discussed, but I think what is important is to show how practically AI can help every industry in the maturity level they are, right? Because it may not be, let's say, the end product that we see in our screen for every industry, but it will be able to support every industry, starting, as I said, from all the different employees, starting also from the infrastructure of the company. So I think that what we will discuss is types of AI and different applications of AI in a way that can be utilized from every industry and from every one of us, right? Working or not working, right? Maybe even younger people or older people, how they can use AI, and I think this will be also interesting to see.
Great. I'm looking forward to your speech.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
very much for coming,
Thank
for
you.
accepting our invitation to be part of Open Conference 2023. And all of you, thank you for watching. And we are waiting for you to join the conference on the 10th and 11th of November 2023.